Hey everybody, I'm Josh.
And I'm Rachel.
And tonight we are trying out one of the newest Italian restaurants here on the Las Vegas Strip, Carama.
It's by Wolfgang Puck, and we've enjoyed some of his restaurants before, so we're excited to try this one out.
Let's go. So I'm going to go ahead and go through the menu, but it's actually quite loud in here. And so we will do a lot of talking afterwards and lots of footage. You can see the drinks actually start around $20 to $25 with a gin drink at $18, so a little bit pricey. And then,
but still not Caesar's pricey.
Yeah, still under Caesar's somehow. And you can see here, this is the menu, the appetizers. You got a salumi bar. Pizza, which we're definitely going to get pizza, antipasta. There's the pasta. We're
going for the pasta. Yeah.
I think we got to get at least 2 of those. And then we might get a fish. There's our sides. So pricing wise, your sides are actually pretty decent. It's $12 to $16, which sounds like a lot, but in Vegas, we've seen them push past $20.
And depending on the size of the pasta, that pricing isn't bad either.
Yeah.
As long as it's not like those one gnocchis.
Right, at Vetri. If you haven't seen that video.
6 gnocchi for 36 bucks.
After tax and tip, it was like $8 to $9 gnocchi. So we'll see what we can get, but we will talk outside. All right, we just finished up here at Carama by Wolfgang Puck, his newest restaurant here in Las Vegas.
It was so good.
It was. But as we had said when we were looking at the menu, it was quite loud in there. There's something, it's very echoey, high ceilings, hard floors.
Yeah, and it's not even like some of the restaurants we've talked about recently have been because of like a bumpin' DJ vibe.
Yeah.
No, it's truly the noise of the restaurant, the clanking of the plates, the other conversations.
Yeah.
It just made it super loud. Not uncomfortable for our meal, but just loud enough that it would not have been pleasurable for you guys to hear it. So.
And the lighting was actually pretty good as well, which is another thing that we're sometimes unsure about. So like for a new restaurant, I actually was pretty happy with that.
Me too. So we started off with some drinks. I had a tequila-based drink. It was a really nice sipper. But it was smooth. Man, it could have went down really too smooth.
And I did a fairly average, simple, old-fashioned.
Yep. But very good drinks, good, nice selection.
Then we started off with the Diolo Pizza, which that salami was spicy.
It was spicy, but the thing that stood out on that with me was the olives on it. Wow, they were a strong flavor. It was delicious, but man, they were a strong flavor.
And I was excited to see that there was some caramelized onions on there. But they actually didn't stand out compared to the olives and the salami. So take that for how it is. The crust was ridiculously thin.
Paper thin.
Yeah.
It was not, and it totally was a floppy crust. Could not hold it up. So
this was a fork and knife pizza.
Yep.
And I really did enjoy the crust though.
I did too.
But it was really thin.
I didn't think there was overpowering of sauce or anything of that sort. It was a perfect marriage of all the flavors and all the toppings on it, but that crust was just so thin it didn't hold up to it.
Yeah. And then we ended up with Barata and Mortadella.
Yeah. It was like a little bologna sandwich.
Yes. So we did get the ciabatta bread. And so with the ciabatta, we dunked it in the balsamic vinegar and olive oil, put the burrata right on top of that,
then
put the mortadella on top of that. Yeah, it was just a really good cold cut sandwich is basically how it ate.
Yeah, very thinly sliced mortadella with nice creamy burrata.
Yes.
It just was a nice palate cleanser after that pizza.
I was unsure about that one, but it actually ended up going really well together.
Yeah, it was really good.
I did enjoy it. And then we got a lot.
The pasta.
Yeah.
Whew.
3 pasta dishes and a fish and a side.
Yes.
If you're enjoying this video and looking for more Las Vegas restaurant reviews, be sure to hit that subscribe button. We have almost 200 restaurant reviews in Las Vegas alone.
Let's talk about the side first. It was escarole, and it was sautéed with, again, some olives in it, which made it so tasty. I told Josh one of my favorite things about ordering sides is when we can do it when it's something we don't make at home.
Yeah.
And it ate very similar to what probably a baby bok choy would eat. It was so tasty.
Yeah, we really haven't eaten many endives, which is what escarole is. And so it's sauteed, I think, probably very simply. I think that's one thing that you'll notice with a lot of this. The key is all in the ingredients themselves and not like overly powered with other flavors.
Agreed. And it also had a nice little breadcrumb, so it was different texture as well.
Yeah.
One of my favorite sides I think I've had in a long time here in Vegas.
Okay. So then next we had swordfish, which that was really good. It was just a nice, meaty, hearty fish, white fish. It was grilled, nothing too over the top flavoring.
No, but there was a little like chili paste, right?
Yes.
Is that what that was that we spread on top? It added to that too. It was so tasty.
And then that came with some broccolini, which was very good. It was nice, easy sauteed.
Yep.
Then the pastas.
We ended up with 3. Like, if you haven't already seen our videos from last summer when we were in Rome, go check those out because we ate pasta and so did we tonight.
Yes. Catay Pepe was one of the first ones we had.
Yep.
It was a simple, very simple flavors, which Catay Pepe is like cheese and pepper.
Yep, that's it. But the noodles on that were a little bit different than I was expecting. They were kind of like a rolled up lasagna noodle.
Or an unrolled lasagna noodle is what I was going to say. Well, I guess it does roll. Yeah.
It was kind of rolled up.
Hopefully you like black pepper if you're going to go with that one.
Yeah.
Otherwise, there's not a lot of other flavor to it.
No, it's pretty simple.
Yeah.
But simple in a good way because as long as you're doing simple right, it's simple is enough.
Yes, and it does definitely seem like they make all their pastas in-house.
Yeah.
Which definitely shows with the taste and the cook. The cook was very good on all of them.
So good. And then we got a gnocchi, which was, again, very light, pillowy, very soft. And it came with a tomato-based sauce, but it wasn't overly powerful.
I think it was like a tomato basil sauce.
And it wasn't very thick.
No, it wasn't very thick. It wasn't heavy-handed. It just worked well with it. And there was like a light sprinkling of cheese on top of it, which did melt and was actually really good as well. Yeah. So the good thing is, like, none of them ate too heavy.
No,
which was our concern. I mean, by the way, we did have a third person with us, so I don't think we could have ate all of this on our own. So thank you to Kelly for coming with us. But yeah, that made it easier for us to be able to do that. And then my favorite dish.
It was my favorite bite of the night too.
Yeah, was the lasagna.
It was so good. And again, it was simple done right.
Yes.
It was a meat sauce and lasagna noodles that were just perfectly cooked. I think it was about 6 layers when we counted them up.
Yeah, it was either 6 or 7 layers.
So good.
Yeah, and the noodles were just perfectly done. Normally with lasagna, like, I'm the kind of person that want it to be, I want it to be heavy with like lots of cheese and like thick garlic bread and stuff, but I didn't need it, and I'm glad we didn't have it.
Me too. And it was, again, as Josh mentioned, there were 3 of us. All these portion sizes were easily split between the 3 of us, so you could easily share these portions.
Yeah, we told the waitress right away when we got there. We're like, we're just going to do this family style. So they did a really good job changing our plates and stuff. I think there was like some miscommunication as far as like the menu items. Yeah. So I think they're still finding their groove right there.
Yeah, finding their footing.
Overall, it was good.
Yeah.
Now we did have a dessert, which it was actually off of the seasonal menu. It was a gelato, which then had
semi-frozen gelato covered with a pistachio crumble.
Yes, and then there were sour cherries, and then a cherry compote at the bottom. Cherry compote and the sour cherries was very strong.
Very tart.
The gelato was not the most powerful.
No, and I don't know if it's because it's frozen or what, but it was very it was very light. Not overly sweet at all. The sour cherry is what stood out, but I loved the pistachio crumble, gave it a different texture.
I was going to say that I think the pistachio crumble actually stood out the most for me. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah.
But yeah, overall, I thought it was really good. Price-wise, I was actually shocked that pre-tip was just under $300, which sounds like a lot. But
that
for
was 3 people.
3 people, lots of dishes, lots of different flavors.
And 3 cocktails.
Yeah. So I'm actually okay with that price. I thought it was good, especially for a new place.
I did too. I loved the atmosphere in there. I loved that it wasn't overly loud with music. And I don't mind overly loud with conversation.
Right.
But I did enjoy that. And again, as Josh mentioned, our service was great. I think they're still getting their feet wet in regards to what's on the menu and understanding that properly, but it'll easily be fixing itself as the restaurant ages.
Yeah. And I will say, I think that the bar area is beautiful.
Yes.
Definitely recommend. Even just grabbing a drink there would be fine.
Yeah, checking it out. It's a nice little spot.
All right. If you're enjoying our videos, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe.
You can also follow us on social media, Facebook, Instagram, and X. All our links are down below.
Later.